that drain $5,000 for each worker, and he's basically said, I've got 2 workers I can hire, and they get paid $5,000 per month whether they're working or not. To turn left. I want to be in that field over there. See, this is where I have issues. There's not always a gap in the hedge. Oh well. Close your eyes. We're driving through the hedge, guys. We'll turn off GPS. Yeah, they've always been unreliable, but they are noticeably unreliable in FS22. Like in the past, they don't turn, if they're doing a job, they won't do, they actually get to the edge of the field and they look and say, grass to the left of me, no grass to the right of me, I will turn left and continue mowing the grass. But FS22, that piece of logic appears to be missing, and they end up just, I'm at the end of the field, I need to turn around, random chance I turn left or right, whether there's grass there or not, and that's just a big problem. So I will complete this and then we'll go back and see how he's doing. And the thing is if they don't get hung up going around the field, then it's not actually a problem. They can just, they'll go all the way across the field. I mean, they're unreliable for other things like, oh, there's an island of trees in the middle of the field, and Worker E has completed their task. I bet you Worker E turned left and mowed the grass that was already mowed. Shall we go back and check? This job isn't going to take long, and we're still going to have liquid fertilizer in the tank at the end of it, so that's fine. We'll fill up that circle. So that's the headland done. Yes. Really? Dude. So he came down that bit, then went up and down the bit we'd already done. He turned left. So I am thinking potentially if I set him off here, he seems to bias his turns to the left. So maybe he'll actually do what I want him to do this time. Meanwhile. Now, of course, the other option is I could add course play, at which point you can just set up a course, a much more realistic course, and just have the worker drive it. And they will do the start from nearest waypoint, start from first waypoint, and typically you can tell them do a few headlands and then do the middle. And if you do it that way, then they generally don't get hung up on stuff, because the course avoids the things that get in your way, the obstacles. Yes, that word. But anyway, I now think, given what the worker is doing in the grass field, what should happen now is we should be able to get this completed, get back to the farm before our worker finishes mowing the grass. What we will then do is I'll probably take the milk to the sell point. We do not have the dairy. Don't really have enough money spare to consider that for right now. And what else do we have to do? 99% complete, yay. Yes, so as I was saying, what Disturb Simulations has done is he's basically got a permanent $5,000 a month drain, and he can hire up to 2 workers that don't get worker payment salary thing, which is kind of a clever way to do it. So he's running a mod to turn off worker pay, to make workers free, and he's just draining his bank $5,000 a month. And I kind of like that idea. What he's then doing is he's using the workers to do contracts when he doesn't have stuff on the farm to do, because the workers are costing him money constantly. And so it just makes sense to have them earning money all the time. Is there a way out? There is a way out there. And so I need to pull some sharp maneuvers to get out of here. Once again, we will do cab driving. Okay, we're out. And we're into the grass fields across the road from our farm. I think I know how to get back from here. We can go that way. Pillar is right in the way. I think we have to go through the trees to get out of here. Yes. Yeah, you've got a bunch of permanent guys that always work at your farm. And so, yeah, when he has work on the farm to do, he can use his 2 workers to do that work. And when he doesn't have work on the farm to do, then he just gets them to do contracts. Because obviously over the winter they are going to cost you a lot of money. And you need to have that money available in order to make sure they get paid. I am so lost. I have taken a wrong turn somewhere. Oh, I'm right next to the road. Shh. Don't tell anyone. And really, which? Oh, right. There. To the left of us is the, to the right of us is the arable farm. It has no animal husbandries on it whatsoever, but it is a lot of farm buildings. We may buy that at some point. And there's our silage bales that we produced last year, or last month. They're all still fermenting, so we'll leave them where they are. And yes, they actually hit the unload point, so we can put the fertilizer back in there. think I'm gonna... I'm not sure what the the maintenance penalty on a sprayer is. I'm kind of making the assumption that it's probably something to do with using up more fertilizer than it needs to. Actually, I don't need to fix the tractor. I do need to fix that. There we go. We don't have a spray shop here, so I will jump over here. And he got stuck again. But he did turn the right way, so it looks like current bias for this field is left turn. So he should continue down the field. Just set him off there. Actually, I'm going to leave that tractor right there. And we will... yeah, dropping the modules off this truck are a little bit unreliable. I may buy a second truck and just run one as a tanker and one as a box, or I may buy a bigger tanker. Oh, that wasn't exactly what I was planning. Because the legs on these modules tend to fall through the ground. Anyway, let us... That button there opens the thing. So we can haul 5,000 litres. We've got a little over 10. And I don't even know where best milk sales are this month. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Show current prices. 89 dairy. Not even sure where the dairy is. Where's the bat signal? Over there. Okay. He turned right this time. Okay, let's try him again. Go, dude. Nice thing is the workers do generally drive on the cardinals, so long as I'm pointing in approximately the right direction, he will line up on the path I want him to take. Okay, let's go find the dairy. Take the hazmat fang off the back. This truck is feeling a little bit unsteady. I added right at the beginning. I added the MAN tanker truck mod to the game, so that is eventually what I plan to be using to ship milk. I believe it has a capacity of 30,000 litres, so we'll be able to move a lot more milk, but at the moment we've got 30 smallish cows with a fairly low production rate. Where's the bat signal gone? Oh, behind us, okay. Well, that was a little unexpected. I just wasn't paying attention. I believe we're very close to the first batch of 5 baby cows. So yay, the cow breeding program has started, and if there is an achievement for it, we will achieve it at some point. Here is the dairy. It's quite a convenient place, I would say. Okay, open the lids and... Okay. There we go. Find the delivery points. How much do we make from this? It's actually fairly good money. 3,400. Not too shabby. So yeah, how are we doing with the cows? I haven't checked in a while. So these are 50%. These are at 30%. These are... Ooh. Old enough. Cool. Yeah, I've been buying yearlings which are just at the point where they're starting to produce milk, they're not starting to breed. They're a little bit cheaper than running 18-month-olds, which breed from the get-go, and obviously a little bit more productive than 0-year-olds that just eat stuff for a long time. I kind of wanted the cows to be at least semi-productive from the start. Oops. And I should probably check on the Massey Ferguson before we move the next load of milk. So I'm moving the milk approximately once per month, 2 trips. Idea. Okay, that's loading. That's... See, now he's all done, but the worker is going to continue until he reaches that side of the field. So you can go home. Go home. I'll fold that up. Yes, I find that this is a good mower to start with. 44 Ranger, welcome to Saturday. We're doing well here. There are a fair number of people chatting today, so say hi to the viewers. So yes, what was I saying? This is a good mower. It can be configured as both a mulcher and a mower. So it's serving double usage on this farm. You just have to put it through the workshop in order to switch it to mulching mode. But it does have a limited work width. So obviously, eventually we're going to get to the point where it does It needs to be replaced, but it's probably going to be replaced by just a larger mowing setup to the start. Typically, I don't bother with rollers and mulchers from the get-go. They are quite expensive pieces of equipment, and frequently I have other more important things to purchase. But if I can get a piece of equipment that serves double duty, I'm all for that. So that's what we're doing. We're still producing a good amount of tomatoes, and I need this back in there. Of course, the other good thing about using this tractor on the mowing is maintenance is cheaper than using the Deutz, and also parking the equipment up is cheaper, or is easier, because it's a much smaller tractor, so much more agile. Oh, and I forgot, we also have the Vermeer pack, which probably never going to use the self-propelled baler. Probably never, because that's a $500,000 piece of equipment, or $250,000 piece of equipment for something that just bales. And I'm not sure I can justify that as a justified expense. One of the things we do need is a harvester, and I think there was a New Holland CR5 on the farm sale in September, which I decided not to go for. That was followed up in early winter with a Class Torian for sale, and then late winter with a Class Lexian for sale. So there's been an awful lot of harvesters out on the sale. Which tractor do I prefer from the inside? That's kind of difficult. I don't spend a lot of time driving in cab. Generally what turns me off is having something there so that I can't, if I am cab driving, I can't see what's coming down the road. That pillar could be an annoyance. But there's some tractors that have computer screens mounted high up, and you can't maneuver your head to in order to see. It's more a case of what can I see out the window, and how convenient is that. Okay, that tractor is moving. This tractor's kind of nice, but again, that pillar, both sides, can get in the way of the view. The computer console is low down, so it doesn't cause me problems. I do like this tractor though. It's the new Valtras are really nice. Where are we going? We're going there. That's full. Probably should shut the tops on. It's kind of like me and cars. Once I've driven a car for a while, I figure out what annoys me about it. And I mean, for example, I owned a Peugeot 405 back in the UK in the 90s. It was a wagon. It had a rear wash wipe on the tailgate, and the annoyance was that the windscreen washer fluid was the nozzle for that was at the bottom of the window, and the pump was not very powerful. So the problem was you only got windscreen washer fluid halfway up the back window, which then just left you with a huge streak at the top of the window, and not a great design. The funny thing was I complained about it to a couple of my friends, and when they bought out the 406, which was the follow-up model, they'd moved the windscreen washer sprayer to the top of the window, so gravity helped. So you could spray the window, and the water would trickle down, and you would get a clean window. Same with the Equinox I've got at the moment. The windscreen washer is at the top, so I can get a clean window when I use it. But outside of that, I love that 405. It was a really nice, comfortable car to drive. I'm liking the Equinox we've got. I find the engine's a little bit anemic, but it does what it needs to do. It's got great legroom for the back for adults. In its class, I think it's you've got the Honda CR-V, and I can't remember whether it's the Ford Edge or the Ford Escape. They're all the same size, but the Chevy trades off luggage space for legroom. And having a teenage daughter means having the legroom is kind of useful. And if you do need serious amounts of luggage space, and you're not taking the entire family with you, you can just fold down the rear seats, and you've got exactly the same maximum rear capacity as the Honda and the Ford. So it kind of works better for us than the Ford and the Honda would. But before that, we had a Saab 9.7, which is effectively what's that? The Chevy Trailblazer. With a Saab badge on it, and I hated that because the cockpit design. It was a really nice vehicle to drive, but the cockpit design was just horrible. Cup holders, leg room, just general storage space around the driver to put stuff was just was bad. And the Equinox feels so much more roomy, and that's quite significant, I think. And then the other car we've got is the Saab 9.3, and I'm on my fourth Saab, and I like that. That's a really nice car. I haven't found much that's wrong with it. Okay, what are we doing now?